Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the board meeting for the Bryan Board of Public Affairs for the meeting of July 15th, 2025. John, will you please do roll call?
I will. Annette Schreiner,
Here.
Bob Eyre,
Yes.
Jim Salsbury,
Yes.
Dick Long,
Present.
Karen Ford.
Present.
All present.
Thank you. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the July 1st, 2025 meeting. Everyone has been supplied with a copy of the meeting minutes. Are there any changes or questions about the meeting minutes? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve, please?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second.
Karen,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
and Dick.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a hearing of public concerns. Anyone present? Come up to the podium. Seeing none. Next on the agenda is the Clerk-Treasurer's Report. John.
Yes, thank you. The board has received all of the normal reports, financial reports, bank statements, the bank reconciliation, various pieces that you get every month for the month ended June 30th. And I would entertain any questions you might have now or at any time you want to reach out to me.
Questions for John? May I have a motion to approve the Clerk-Treasurer's Report for month ending June 30th of 2025?
So moved. Second.
Dick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a resolution. John, would you please number and read?
Resolution number 22, 2025, to set the employee annual premium rate for health insurance for the period September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2026. So probably about a month ago, we got our initial quote from MedMutual of Ohio for the upcoming health plan year that came in at just a hair under 10%. And through a round or two of negotiations, we did get that rate to come down. The proposed overall increase is 5%. So, in my mind, in health insurance, anything in the single digits is pretty good, and at 5%, that's, we had a pretty big increase coming into this year, but 5% kind of swings it around a little bit.
Yeah.
So-
Double digits.
I do not have the exact figures in my hand, but right now, a single plan costs an employee roughly $43 per pay, and that'll go up to about $45 per pay. And for the family plan, it currently costs about $119 and change, and that'll go to about $124. So about a $2 increase and a $5 increase per pay for the employees. And that would be all I have.
I would think the employees would be very happy with that.
Those are good numbers.
Yes, very good.
Any more questions or comments for John?
Good number.
It just says in here something about the plan modification is they would prefer that you do a generic versus brand name. Is that correct?
Well, you know what, there are a couple of things, that being, so there are two prescription drug changes that we're looking at. They don't really change what's covered, and of course the plan benefits themselves from the health side don't change. There is a plan in place to encourage use of generic drugs.
Which that's pretty normal.
It is pretty normal, and The exception, when there's a generic available, the times that the brand name is prescribed is very few in number. So this will have a minimal impact. But the employees will need to understand that if they or their doctor, if they insist on the brand name without a medical reason to go with the brand, they would have to pay the price for the
A copay?
for the name brand. That would be the full copay plus the difference in the price of the drugs themselves. So it's a pretty stiff penalty if you insist. Now, if there's a reason for allergies or whatever else that might be that the doctor says this patient has to have the brand name, it's an appeal process.
Yeah.
It can be done. But, you know, most likely you're going to have to do the generic, see if you respond to it well. And I don't deny that's kind of a pain in the neck, but I think the impact, the number of people that will be impacted will be pretty, hopefully not. And then there is there's a program that we will implement for anyone, and I don't think we have a lot of these either, but folks who are using like compound or specialty medications, probably not compound, I mean to say specialty medications. There's a program that will be administered totally behind the scenes through Medical Mutual, where if the pharmaceutical company has any incentives in terms of covering the cost of the drugs for the patient, we will be eligible for those, and Medical Mutual will seek those out. So the advantage to the employee in that case is that the employee would forego having their normal copay. Their copay would be zero, because the plan would get the benefit of the discounts that the manufacturers are offering. You see these, like, it's a tagline at the end of all these commercials on TV. You know, if you have a need, we can help you out with the cost, that kind of thing. So they've kind of now institutionalized taking advantage of those discounts wherever they're available.
Good idea.
The heads up to the employee is that if they get an EOB, if they have a medication that falls under this program, they're going to see an EOB, an explanation of benefits, that says they owe $800 for this drug. And they don't, and they won't. They'll owe zero. They won't get an invoice for anything, but the EOB will freak people out the first time they see it. That's
do
all.
it.
That's something employees should really be aware of, that not only is MedMutual seeking that out, but the employees, when they go to their doctor, they can ask them what is available, because many companies do offer those type of
Sure.
discounts. And
That's right.
they're very cost saving.
But no other changes to the plan itself.
Okay.
That's good.
Anything else? May I have a motion to accept resolution number 22?
So moved. Second.
Jim?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And Karen?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is another resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 23, 2025, recommending Bryan City Council authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with Bryan Excavating LLC for the Waterline Replacement Project, East Mulberry Street, 700 through 900 blocks.
Eric?
Just a little bit of a refresher on this project. We're looking at replacing 1,520 feet of old 4-inch cast iron water main. There's 3 fire hydrants, and we'll replace 39 services. Again, this is in the 700 to 900 block, East Mulberry. In 2024, both the board and city council passed resolutions that authorized the mayor to apply for an OPWC grant for this project. We will be awarded up to 50% of the project, or up to $275,000 for this through a grant. Bid advertisements were completed. There was a bid opening held on July 9th. 2 bids were submitted, and in total 5 bid books were issued. The apparent lowest and best bid was submitted by Bryan Excavating in the amount of $489,300.40. That is below the engineer's estimate of about $558,000. This project is included in the 2025 water capital budget, where we appropriated $560,000. Supply chain still seems to be a bit of an issue, and I think specifically brass. So there was an addendum that was issued that extended the completion date to September 30th, 2026. So as a result of that, I wouldn't expect construction to begin until next year. And again, through the OPWC grant, we would expect to receive approximately $244,650. So would request that the board recommend City Council authorize the mayor to enter into this agreement.
I do have a question. I'm wondering if there was any discussion with either of these companies in the type of description of the material or the items that they're going to furnish for this project, because I noticed a considerable difference in pricing between certain items on here. Some are less and some are more than the other bidder submitted cost for. So I just wonder, are they going to give us the type of product that we typically would buy ourselves?
Yeah, so city engineer.
Because with that price difference, I can't imagine that happening.
So city engineer, our engineering reviewed the bids. They didn't mention anything of that, but they still do have to install, all products, materials to our standards and specs. So I would say the answer is yes, it will be to what we accepted as specified.
Okay, so when we submitted the bid pack, when we issued it out, we did have like part numbers.
Yes.
All right, that's
Yep.
what I was asking. Thank you, because that was a big difference in price, I think, between the two.
Bryan Excavating's done a lot for the city of Bryan.
Yeah.
So,
That's probably by.
Yeah, they'll be happy.
You go local.
any other questions or comments about Resolution 23? If there are none, may I have a motion to accept Resolution 23?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Bob?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And Dave?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is also a resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 24, 2025, to approve the form and authorize the execution of the 2027 waste heat energy schedule with American Municipal Power and taking other actions in connection therewith.
Okay, Barry.
So just put a few slides together to kind of talk through this. So essentially what we're working at is what we're calling tall grass, and it's a power purchase agreement. So I'll just kind of walk through what the project is and what some of the terms of the agreement are. So this is a renewable power purchase agreement. And as most of us know, the grid continues to see rapid load growth and generation is struggling to keep up. AMP has been actively exploring opportunities to provide long-term power solutions to its members. So they were able to negotiate a PPA with Tallgrass Energy Partners, and this is for a 16-year, 22.74 megawatt renewable, and this is a base load power supply. And so base load, those are delivered near around the clock basis. And just for example, in our portfolio now, Prairie State would be base load source. So talk just a little bit, an overview of what the project is. So this is waste heat to power. Tallgrass, they're the owners of the Rockies Express pipeline, and they're developing power projects that take the waste heat at the compressor stations and convert it to emissions-free power. So basically what they're doing is they're taking the compressors at these stations, they're capturing the heat from them. The heat is then kind of turned into a steam-like vapor. It spins a generator and produces electricity. And these compressors, their purpose is to keep the pressure up in the natural gas pipeline. So there's 2 existing stations in Ohio, just south of Columbus and east of Columbus in Asheville and Iowa. Those are the available projects that we're talking about. And this is a proven technology. It's been around for over a century, and really in the 1980s and the 1990s, it was expanded significantly, and the technology is just improved since then. So it is a new concept. Again, 2 waste heat projects totaling the 22.74 megawatts. This is a 16-year term beginning January of 2027 through December 31st of 2042. There is also an option in the agreement to extend the term by 5 years. And this is similar to other PPAs that we've done with like landfill gas or wind. AMP does not own these facilities. We're essentially paying the supplier for the energy that's produced. Talk a little bit about the cost of it. So the 2027 energy cost is $59.50 a megawatt hour. And another term of the agreement is there's a 2% annual increase. I think most times we would probably prefer a fixed cost over the period. But we did go through this with John Courtney, and it's something we can live with that 2% annual increase. Yeah, in 2027, $59.50. AMP is anticipating selling the RECs at $3 a megawatt hour, and also anticipating that we'll receive approximately $12 in capacity credit per megawatt hour. So the net energy rate, or approximately what we would expect to pay, is $44.50 a megawatt hour. The pie chart beside it just takes a look at the 15-year average over the agreement, $68.60 a megawatt hour. Again, looking at selling the RECs for $3 a megawatt hour, and getting capacity credits of $12 a megawatt hour. So the 15-year average for the net energy rate would be $53.60 a megawatt hour. And in the agreement, there is a rate schedule that lays out each year exactly what the cost is, but just to highlight it, in 2042, it was $79.99 a megawatt hour. You account for the sale of the RECs, the capacity credits, you're around $64.99 a megawatt hour. Just a little bit of a summary. So yeah, again, AMP is recommending that we participate in this project. The subscription period goes through September 20th. They're essentially the sign-up time. Between both of the sites, we're asking for a total of 1 megawatt hour. AMP has indicated that they believe this project will be oversubscribed. So after that subscription period ends, there's the possibility that will be prorated, so we could possibly be even less than 1 megawatt. Again, it's additional baseload power, which is a positive. It would provide approximately 5% of our annual energy needs, and it does help reduce our market exposure. AMP likes to see us 10 to 15% on the market. John Courtney likes to see us 15 to 20% on the market. Right now, in the high demand months, June, July, and August, we're sitting at about 22. So this will help reduce that market exposure as well. And then also, since it is renewable, it will help us meet or exceed the board's goal of 25% renewable energy. And we did go through this with John Courtney, he went through all the documents, and the recommendation, and he recommended we participate as well. In the agreement, there is a guaranteed commercial operation date of June 2nd, 2028. If for some reason this is not in operation by then, we are relieved of all of our obligations. And this is a take and pay, so we only pay for the energy that we take. If we take no energy, we have no cost. Take any comments, but I do want to point out.
I have a question, Derek. When I worked at Ohio Gas Company, we looked at Rocky Express Pipeline. And the reason being was that East Coast needed natural gas. And the only way they could get gas was through LNG. And they had to ship it through ports like Boston and things like that. So Rocky Express Pipeline was moving gas from Colorado, Montana, and places like that across the East Coast to Chicago, all the way to Dayton. And they met up with in Signetta, Ohio, and transported it across the state of Ohio to Pennsylvania to the East Coast. One of the things that they were looking for is the fact that they could bring gas at a lower price to the East Coast. What changed that philosophy was the fact that shale gas became available. And therefore, the shale gas being in Ohio offset a lot of the costs for that, was competitive to get that gas over there. So the Rocky Express Pipeline is a long-term contract for a lot of LDCs, especially in southern Indiana public utilities. They got involved with that quite a bit. So they will be around for probably a long time. So with that being said, this contract makes sense because 15 years, 16 years, that will be well into the terms that they have expressed with that. So I think this is a good agreement to get into place with. And I'd be surprised if we don't see from Rover or Nexus pipelines have similar agreements that we'll be able to take advantage of it. For example, Nexus goes right through Northwest Ohio. Rover goes right through Archibald and hit up to Michigan. So I would be surprised if we don't see similar agreements from those other pipelines.
Well, the other comment I wanted to have or make is you have a new copy of the resolution in front of you. We did make some minor language changes to what was provided to you in the board packet. I believe in section 1, we did add the years in there for the term.
I had a question, Derek. Obviously, we get the RECs. Do we get credit for that, or is that just rolled into that price?
It's rolled in
To the total price, okay. Megawatt hour price, okay.
I had learned something reading these documents, and I'd like it if you would explain.
if I can remember.
Well, it was a good explanation. I mean, I thought maybe there was a typo in here
Right.
originally, and there is not. That there is a difference in megawatts and megawatts AC, which is listed in our resolution. I didn't see that megawatts AC in the schedule, so I had asked why, or what the difference was and how it impacted us. You did a good job explaining.
So in short, there's a difference between megawatts and megawatts AC. Essentially, megawatts AC is what is compatible with the grid, or what goes on the transmission alternating current. So when you go from megawatts to megawatts AC, there is a slight reduction in power. So that's why the numbers aren't always exactly the same. Was that close?
That is, see, I didn't know there was a difference, so. Yeah.
It's new, new term. I never heard of it either.
Any other questions? If not, I would request that you allow us to execute the 2025 waste energy schedule.
Any more questions?
How about tall grass? How'd they come up with that name?
It sounds like that's the owner's name.
Oh, okay. I know how they came up with Rover Pipeline because of the Rover vehicle.
Anything else? motion to approve resolution 24?
So moved.
Second.
Dick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is to affect the semi-monthly disbursements, so pay the bills. Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion?
Second.
Bob,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
and Dick.
Yes.
Next up is comments from BPA staff. Derek, you have anything?
I did not have anything tonight, thank you.
John?
I don't either.
Paper? Karen?
I have nothing to add for tonight.
Dick?
On the way over, I thought I heard a turbine run.
Yes, we are.
Are we generating?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Good deal.
Jim?
I have nothing.
What Dick is, in my office, when I was at Ohio Gas Company, my coffee cup would
Keep shaking.
It would jiggle, and I knew that's when you guys started your generation, so I was like, okay, I go to gas control and make sure that, so, that's my only comment, thank you.
I'm used to hearing that sound.
That's it, it's like ching ching.
I can hear that from, I can't hear nothing else, but I
But
can
yeah,
hear
my
that
coffee,
sound.
actually, seriously, my coffee would jiggle my desk, just when those, the generators started up, so.
Okay, well, I don't have any other comments either. So next on the agenda is we will be going into executive session to prepare for negotiations pursuant to RC 121.22G4. Asked to attend would be the board and Derek and John. So we're going to take a brief recess.